So I'm going to start with you, Venita. You know, your season, you came in as, I won't say a fake housemate, let's just say a guest housemate, because you didn't start from day zero with everyone.
Correct.
And this time, you started from day zero and you got to the second to the last week. How does that feel for you?
That feels amazing. I mean, anytime you do something and then the second time you get to do it, you completely knock it out of the park. Honey, it should feel good. So I definitely am very satisfied with my very long run in the house.
Yeah, it is a long run. And you had a lot of things that you got up to in the house. I mean, I'm not going to delve into the love or the fights. We're just going to talk about you, first of all.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I mean, we'll get into those things, but let's start soft.
Yes.
So in the house, I mean, this time around, you really put in your all when it came to tasks. In fact, you put in your all so much that when some people were not giving the energy that you felt each task deserved, it put you off and led to some fights that you had in the house. How does, your performance this time around in terms of tasks, how would you say that all the time after your initial season that you spent outside the house, delving into your acting, doing businesses, how would you say that those experiences have shaped how you were able to handle the task in the house?
Okay, well, since the last time I've been in the house till now, I didn't just develop those skills in the space of a couple of years. These are skills that I have, learned, acquired, developed in my adult formative years from different places worldwide. So I am a creative. I love to do anything that is in that region. And, I came in with the spice the first time. The second time, I wanted you guys to really have my pound of flesh, know what it was like to be in my skin, what I can do, how far I can take it, and just give you all different shades of Venita.
I love that. Soma, I'm going to go over to you now. I mean, in your season, the second week you were out, and this time you literally were just one step away from the finals. And even in this particular All-Star season, we all saw it. The first 2-3 weeks, every time nominations came around, you were really anxious, you were really nervous, you had to psych yourself that you can do it. But as the weeks progressed, we saw there was this confidence that came over you, look, I made it past, this week.
Yeah.
I'm good for another week. Yeah. How would you say these experiences have shaped your growth, not just as a housemate, but even as a person in this All-Star season?
This being in the house this season has shaped my growth in different ways. There's a lot I discovered about myself that I didn't know before, and there's a lot of potential I see myself now. And I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about my strengths, and I'm a better person just because I went to this season.
This All-Star season. Yeah. I love that, because what's the Big Brother house if you've not learned one or two things? It's absolutely wonderful. Angel, over to you this time. You have shown a different side of yourself, if I do say so myself. In your initial Shine Your Eye season, you were more, I wouldn't say more out there, but you were bolder and bigger with the things that you wanted to do. That's not to say that in this All-Star season you were not very firm, but you also showed us a sort of softer side to Angel, a more mature side to Angel, I love that growth for you. How would you say that shaped how you related with everyone else in the house?
I think that if there was anything that I got or developed after Shine Your Eye, it was discernment. So I knew when I had to speak up and fight for myself and not be bullied, because after Ilebaye, I was the youngest in the house.
Yeah.
And we had some people that just wanted the two young people in the house to not be,
to not be out there.
Yes. So, I think I knew when to fight for myself and when to shut up.
Yeah.
Initially, though, I didn't. Initially, I had a lot of fights in maybe the first 3 weeks. But then I was just what's the point? I'm not this person anymore. So I just knew when to draw the line and set boundaries. So I think discernment really helped me shape how I navigated the house this time around. knowing when to talk and when to just ignore, things and conserve my energy.
Your energy. All right. Speaking of boundaries and, learning discernment. So during your stay in the house.
Yeah.
From the previous season, we saw that, you had a little thing with 2 housemates, 3 housemates, but this time you stuck to one person, Soma.
Yeah.
And also we saw that, how you related with Soma was so different from, your past season. Before, the people or your interests that you were with, when they would offend you, you would give them the silent treatment. You wouldn't talk to them for days. But this time, we saw that when you had an issue with Soma, we all saw the big fight. It was very different. You were vocal about what was upsetting. You were vocal about this is what you don't like, this is what you don't like. And, I want to ask a question. Is it because of how you have matured in terms of discernment, or is it because the feelings that you have for Soma are so much different and stronger that you've decided that, I like this person more. I'm going to work on, communicating how I feel about it as opposed to a silent treatment. Is that what it was?
I feel like I did have instances where I withdrew and I actually did not speak to him because I process my feelings differently. But I think and it's still obviously it's just been 2 years.
A work in progress.
It's still a work in progress. But I feel like now I am able to want to resolve conflict. I used to be very avoidant before.
Yeah.
And sometimes I still can be, but I'm learning to resolve conflicts with people that I genuinely care about instead of just shutting them off. Because we're human beings and we're all going to make mistakes. So if I care about you, I will try my best to take the extra mile to resolve issues, which is why I think that if there's anything that I loved, it was that I came out of the house on a clean slate with everyone. Yeah. Everybody that I needed, I felt like I needed to apologize to.
You did.
I apologized to. And even those that I felt like I didn't owe an apology, I still said sorry because your feelings are your feelings and I felt my own way. So only peace and love from here.
Peace and love. I love that. Venita, I'm going to come back to you. Gosh, you look so stunning.
Thank you.
I just had to say that.
Don't make me blush.
Well, I just have to. So, Venita, unlike Angel, who had, settled everything before you left the house, there just seemed to be a lot hanging in the air, a lot of uncertainty for you, most especially with your relationship with Adekunle. Over the course of, the house, your stay in the house, it seemed like you guys had this wonderful bond that could not be shaking. But then towards the end, there just seemed to be a lot of jitters, basically. Things were just seeming like, they were slipping through the fingers and everything. And then we had the dinner that was supposed to be a romantic thing, but didn't end the way you wanted it to. And it ended up being you having a monologue during the dinner. And it just seemed like you were trying to get through to Adekunle, but he wasn't understanding exactly what you wanted him to do. And now your relationship is just... it didn't help that he made that comment about you coming to his child's naming ceremony. I'm like, what was that about? What was that about? So I want to find out from you. Do you think that he feels exactly what you are feeling for him? Do you think he understands the feelings that you have for him?
I don't know, because I didn't get an opportunity to find out. And I try not to think about things that I cannot control, because that really can be quite stressful. So the things I can control, I focus on that and try and stay on the positive side of that. If, you recall, I'll always be like, I'm grateful. And the things I can't, what's meant to be for me will be for me. So the show is still going on. Yeah. We still have, things to see. I'm sure there's a plot twist coming up from Biggie.
Oh, probably Biggie
as
has
well.
All sorts of tricks.
Like anything in life, there's more to see.
There's more to see.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, focusing on things that you can control.
Yes.
If you could go back in time, would you have bought the dinner, or would you have bought yourself immunity to still be in the house?
Okay, so immunity was like 4,000 money point first of all.
If you had the money.
If
all of it.
I had them. Oh, that's a good one.
If you had all of it.
If I had all of it, would I have bought immunity for my... I know,
you're thinking.
Would I have bought the dinner?
You're thinking.
I don't know. I guess we'll never find out.
Wow, you don't? Oh, my answer would have been straightforward, man.
I don't know. Circumstances, then we would probably have been arguing about who should get it.
You don't know that, though.
It's very possible. And to be honest, I wouldn't want to. I've seen how that goes down. And I wouldn't want to ask anybody to do anything that I may not be 100% sure of, being able to retaliate. I wouldn't like that pressure. So I'm going to say I don't know because it never happened.
All right, then. Soma, you have made some amazing friendships in the All-Star season, one of them being Adekunle. But as you were leaving the house, you got a bomb from Adekunle in seeing that he nominated you. How did that make you feel when so I know Ebuka asked you, obviously, but now that you've had time to actually think about it and I did everything for this guy in the house. I never once nominated him, you stood up for him in the house, you were supportive in the house, and then at the dying most important minute, he turns around and literally stabs you in the back. How did that make you feel?
Well, like you said, I felt stabbed in the back. But at the same time, I understand that it's a game.
Yeah.
And I'm not the type to hold grudges.
The game is the game.
I'm not the type to hold grudges. Like, I'm processing it right now, and that's that for me. I'm not going to hold it against him or So I understand. When he comes out, obviously I'm going to say,
guys are going to talk,
you nominate me. How you come, you nominate me? You understand? But obviously I'm not going to hold it as a grudge. I feel like we're still going to be great friends on the outside when he comes out.
Yeah. All right. I want to ask you a question, and I hope that you answer me as sincerely as possible. Okay. Before you came into the house, word on the street is that you had a relationship.
Yeah.
Did that end cleanly before you moved into the house?
Did that end cleanly?
Yeah.
No, but it was shaky.
It was shaky?
Yeah.
So could your significant, or can I say ex-significant other, can they take your decisions and everything you've done in the house as the breakup text message?
Well, it wasn't even about the things I did in the house. It was the things I said.
Yeah.
I was asked questions by Ebuka, so I think I made that pretty obvious. Oof. I know that's a hard pill to swallow.
Yes, I mean it's kind of worse than a text message. Getting your breakup on national TV is hard.
I was put on the spot. I was never actually I would never have wanted it to go that way. But Ebuka does what Ebuka does. He puts people on the spot. So.
I mean, he does put people on the spot. I'm thinking of speaking of putting people on the spot. Angel.
I knew that was for me.
Oh, yeah, obviously. I mean, we are on the topic of your relationship with Soma. And before even while you were in the house, you did mention that there was some sort of long-term relationship thing happening with someone. Again, I'll ask you the same question. Can your words and your actions in the house be sent as a breakup text message to the person that was outside? Take your time, you think on it, digest it.
I haven't confronted that situation, right?
Okay.
I haven't
sat down to really think about it.
Not to necessarily thinking about it, more like having a conversation. Because a conversation
is definitely needed.
Yes, it's supposed to be had. So I haven't confronted that, and I mean, I don't know where his head is at yet. But on my part, I would say that I obviously do like Soma, but I haven't confronted the situation that I have with, my partner.
Yeah. Quick question. Are you open to polyamory? If the opportunity provides itself, are you open to that?
I mean, it depends on the men we're talking about now.
Well,
if we have a Jason and
who? Because now you're about to confess your celebrity crushes, so let's hear it.
We have a Jason. What's the name of the guy that did The Witcher again?
Oh.
Then I would be open to having two husbands.
Our Henry Cavill, yes. Okay, I get the vibe. I'm digging that. Okay, so if those are the representatives or the people offering,
yes.
Okay, but in this case, these guys are not Henry Cavill.
No, exactly.
No shade to you, Soma. I mean, no shade.
Okay.
No shade.
Okay.
No shade. All right, then. So, yes, a conversation, definitely. Venita, I'm going to come back to you because something happened that really pissed you you off in the house. This time was during the prime of your relationship with Adekunle, where a certain letter was fixed by a certain someone. She's smiling in the corner because she knows I'm talking about her.
No, I was even thinking about Henry. Like,
Okay. Let's remove our mind from Henry and come to the letter that was planted and made to seem like it came from someone else. And obviously that pissed you off because the quickness with which you ripped up that letter. You said,
see no evil, hear no evil.
You know?
Yeah. So like,
and I was there like, I'm the evil.
No, your acting skills. You should. I mean, you were like, what are you? Okay, but you obviously resolved that. Would you say that letter, in a way, stayed somewhere at the back of your mind and sort of affected how you and Adekunle Gold? Why did I say Adekunle Gold?
I don't
Adekunle
know.
Gold. Do you think it just, because there's a way that the brain stores certain things and you think you've gotten over it, but then it creeps up later, the little chinks that eventually become a wide crack. Mm-hmm. Do you think that letter was a little chink that sort of created a crack in you and Adekunle's relationship?
I don't think any woman, none at all, would not have been affected at the time and maybe thought about it again going forward. I think, it's a very human
thing to do.
But what I decided to do was to stick with the decision that was made, even though I didn't have a choice with it at the time, which is if it's not supposed to meet my eyes, then it will never meet my eyes. So that was why I destroyed it, and I just decided to trust his decision going forward. Yeah.
And trusting that decision going forward, how did that turn out for you? Do you think it was a good thing to do?
I think I made a point. Yes, I took a stand where I wanted to be, and that's important for me to do that for me. All
right. Agent of Chaos. The lady... The lady
Angel is Iscariot herself.
How did you feel when you saw the effect of your machinations? How did you feel?
At first, I won't lie, I was thoroughly entertained. Venita, I'm so sorry. But I had small, I was like, oh. And then I started to feel bad.
Yeah.
Because it got worse. That Sunday of the live eviction show when Ebuka came and he said it, I was entertained. I was like, so it worked though. And then we started to unravel.
Yeah.
And then I felt really terrible that happened, especially because Venita and I had just gotten back to a good space.
Yes.
And I feel like we really bonded those past 2 weeks after we had fallen out. And, I started to feel really bad. And I didn't want to mess up what, we had started.
You had.
Because I did like Venita, I won't lie. Or I like Venita, rather.
Uh-huh.
That's more
like
appropriate
you too.
English. So, I felt bad. That's why I decided to not take money points and just be a couple therapist for free.
I mean, you did do the couple therapy thing really well. You tried. I did. Venita, obviously, after the statement that Adekunle made, she found you to be someone that she could seek solace with. So that's good. Mm-hmm. From Agents of Chaos to couple therapy. I love that. That's a very wonderful career change. It's a good one. It's a good one. Soma, now that you're out of the house, I mean, you stayed longer, you showed who you truly are, more of your character, more of yourself, more of the things that you could do. What is up for you now that you are out?
Not stating the obvious, but, music, my acting career is still on that. I went to delve into more production, and
Are we talking
movie production?
Movie production, okay.
Movie production, music production, because obviously I produce music. I did in the house. Content creation, still working with brands, and business as well.
Business,
definitely business.
I love that word.
Yeah.
Business sounds like money to me.
Money is good.
Money is very good. All right, Venita. I mean, I'm very sure you're probably going to go back into, some acting if some good scripts come along. But what else, is up for the Venita?
Well,
Venita.
definitely acting is daily bread and butter. So you definitely will be seeing me. I must collect that AMVCA award by all means. I'm manifesting it for myself. But yes, I'm also going to extend my creative ventures from a more executive position.
Okay.
So I do plan to start a creative consulting agency. And there's been so many people that have followed me along on my journey. And I want us to do it step by step. I want us to name it together. I want us to come up with a logo together. I want us to talk about it because that's something I've never really done. And I've enjoyed sharing the rawness of myself with those people who love me unconditionally. So that's definitely what's up next. I can't deny them that. Otherwise, they'll have me by my throat. And I definitely have a passion project, but that will come much later on. And I probably will be a little bit sneaky about it too, because everyone knows I like organic growth.
Oh, don't worry.
And
we'll find you out. That's how social media
I'll
is.
do my best to hide. But yes, I'm lucky to be, gifted. So yes, I can't let it sit.
All right then.
We can't keep staying in one lane. We got to spread it.
We got to spread,
which means more business.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I hope to engage with brands of different sizes and create content, create campaigns, marketing strategies for them as well. Or connect them to other creatives who can put their dreams together.
All right,
so
then.
That's what I want to do.
That's great work that you have ahead of you.
Thank you very much.
Agents of Chaos. Don't worry, it's not going to stick, I promise
you. Wahala.
No, it's not going to stick, don't worry. It won't stick. What do we have ahead of us? I mean, before you went into the house, we saw a lot of things that you were working on. You had the podcast thing going for you. You had, your group therapy, the NGO working on. What else are you going to be up to now that you're out of the house?
I definitely want to get into the agricultural sector.
Really?
Yeah.
What exactly on?
A little fish farming here and there.
Oh, okay.
Maybe plants, crops. And then I also want to work on my script writing.
Okay.
Maybe for commercials, shows. I think I'm pretty decent.
Have you taken any...
And I want to develop my craft. So I'm looking to go to film, a little...
Film school.
Yeah, briefly. And my book, I've been saying that for 2 years now, but I think now I'm ready to actually focus and
sit down and start
writing.
All right. I love that. Everyone has, important things that they're going to be getting up to.